When I got into the bathroom, I found the guy has walked into my bedroom with this woman.
Oh.
When I got into my bedroom to dress, the door was locked from inside, so I could not get into the room. I found him standing at the gate. When he was very harsh, and we were with him on Thursday, and he told me, "Go back from where you are coming from. This is not your home." So my son feared, turned the car, and went. From there, because of the stress, I busted bleeding.
No.
And the CS opened like a fish mouth. He came for the second time with the goons. 5 cars and 40 goons.
What?
He just got into the house with my husband reading them. It was just only moving all the items outside the gate, damaging them.
Hello, Tuko family. My name is Kingori Wangeshi. Welcome to this episode of my story right here on Tuko. Now, what would push a family man to oversee goons, evict his wife and children from the house as he watches? Let's hear more of this and other tribulations that Olive Kagendo underwent through her marital journey. Thank you, Olive, for giving us an opportunity to come and sit down with you, listen to your story. We are here because of what we can describe as a distress call from you to us. But first, introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi everyone, my name is Olive Kagendo Peter Murithi. I'm so overwhelmed to see you here in my home, hear my cry, and I'm so happy. Hope you're going to listen to me and do something to my story.
Thank you. That's why we are here, to give you a listening ear and to understand the scope of what you're going through. Because from the surface, it's quite dramatic, to say the least. Kindly describe yourself more in terms of family, children. How are you in that sector?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kingori. Let me start with my life at school. This is where my life started. Actually, when I went to my high school in 1995, I joined Form 1 in 1995, whereby I came to know a guy who was a lovely one, a very handsome, and then I got interested in him as he got interested in me. We started cutting up while I was in Form 2. Is when he got interested in me. But at that time, he was in the university. And then I was in high school. And what made me to give an ear to him is that he was so good in church. Because we grew in one church in the name Gospel of God Church International. So he was so good, so calm. And then the family also was so good to our family because we are neighbors. So I knew I'm not lost.
Yes.
And got into good hands. And then we continued like that. But one time, he approached me when I was in Form 3. Because our church is of that kind. You just honor a girl when she is young.
Oh, really?
Yes. Our church, you can say you want to marry a girl when she is young, but you are given time for the girl to grow, get the education, and reach any level of the education.
And then you get married.
Then you get married. So he waited for me. I completed my high school. And at that time, he was coming for the tuition. He was coming for the tuition in our school. And he was taking me mathematics and physics.
So he used to come and tutor you?
Yes.
And other students?
And other students in the high school. So we got to know each other. I finished my high school. And when I finished my high school, I got into a college and we were also together. Until when now the time came for the man to come and say, "You want to marry me?" whereby he did it very openly before my dad died. And we got into a Meru customary law marriage in about 2005. That is when we got married that year. And then from there, I never stayed at home. He came with me to Nairobi after we were embraced by the parents, and then we got our life.
That's how you started the marriage life.
Yes, the marriage life now in 2005.
Yes.
So he came to Nairobi. And I was very new in Nairobi. So he is the one who showed me the life in Nairobi. And with nothing, we started from the scratch. I remember very well when we went in Umoja and decided to look for a house so that we can stay. We got to a bed sitter. And that bed sitter, we could not even afford a bed. We slept on the floor. We used vitambaa za viti. They're the ones we spread down for almost a month.
That's where you began your life.
Yes, we began.
As a married couple.
Yes. Then when he got a salary, by that time, because he had joined a good job, is when now we went on coming up, and then we couldn't even buy a bed, stay well, until when we reached to a point that now we can buy even a car. Our first car was Passion KAY.
Very sentimental, you remember it?
Yes, I remember because we started from a scratch. And I was very happy because I followed my dad once whereby he was telling me, Kagendo, with money, the world is in your hands. So I worked very well and so hard to see that world in my hands.
Yes.
So I drove a car in Nairobi when I was very young. And I was very happy for my husband taking me through that good life. In 2007, 8, we were able to look for some plots in Nairobi. Whereby now when we bought the plot in Nairobi, we started building slowly by slowly. It moved from the rental houses and got to our own house now.
Wow.
Even if it was rental. But I took the whole of the ground floor and started living in it. In 2008, we were blessed with our firstborn girl. And life continued very well. And I was so happy to become a mother to my lovely husband.
Yes.
And he was very happy and he loved the girl. In 2009, he got a transfer. From the place of work where he was working. He was in Kenya anti-corruption by that time. He moved from Nairobi headquarters and then he got the transfer to Mombasa. When he went to Mombasa, we also got into that new area and we also started investing in Mombasa.
Okay.
So I thank God for the 5 years taken us.
Yes.
Because he embraced us. And I was happy for that because we worked as wife and husband and we agreed on everything, and what we loved most was investment.
Together.
Yes, together.
Yes.
In 2010, we got a new home in Mombasa. We started living in Mombasa very well.
So you moved from Nairobi yourself?
No. He is the one who was living in Mombasa.
Okay.
Me, I was here in Nairobi, working on to see that the plot that now we acquired, it is now at a level of whereby we could get even money from it. So I started from ground floor, second floor, third floor, and even we put the tenants in it, and then we started earning from this point of view. But remember, in this business premises of the rental houses, we also had a security firm. I was also running the company as a manager. I would always get out of late night going for the checkups to see whether the soldiers are asleep or what. I moved a lot. Because
Management by walking around.
Yes, but I was driving. Now I had a car now. I was bought a car.
Yes.
So I was very happy. And then the company was running very well. So we were able to raise up the family well. And we also built the house very easily.
In Mombasa now?
No, the rental houses in Nairobi now.
Oh, you completed the rental houses in Nairobi?
Yes, the rental houses.
Okay.
And during that time, as our daughter grew up, I was moving out of the country. I started my own businesses because I loved businesses a lot. I started selling some stuffs from Italy, taking out to South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, all those countries. So because I wanted us to live a good life, while he is working, I also worked very hard to see. Yes. We completed the house even if there is a ground that we never completed, but we reached to 5th floor, whereby now I thought again and I told my husband, I feel that we can be with a good home now. We move away from the rental houses. He told me that's a good idea. And they asked me, where do you want to buy a land? I told them, give me time. I'm going to check on the nation paper and see where the rates are down where we can afford. As I was looking around, I came to see a parcel of land which was being sold here in Machakos, where we are now. I called the number and I was explained and directed where the shamba as well, and got back to my husband and told him that I've got a good shamba at a good rate. We don't mind we see all we go and visit because they have the visiting days. We go see how much is the shamba being sold. He told me carry on because he was very happy because always I looked at.
You looked ahead.
Yes, I looked ahead to see our future is better. So he allowed me to come and see. We were taken through, that year was 2012. I came visiting the places twice. Before you buy, you have to...
You have to be sure.
Yes.
Yes.
In 2012, I came and got this shamba, whereby you also called the estate reader, and they talked, and then when he came for the leave, I brought him here. He also loved the priest. So we started paying the land, the piece of land we are in now.
Now that is how you found yourself here.
Yes, that is how I found myself here now. Then we paid this piece of land, and then I stayed for some years. You see, since the year 2012, I came the same year 2012. I came and put a structure outside for the garden boy to be staying here. I started planting some maize and beans. The praise was so good that I could give and get food for the children when I'm in Nairobi.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was getting beans. I also planted bananas and put some pigs here. So we continued like that. And from there, it was in 2014, whereby I got pregnant again. When I got pregnant, so I stopped from working from this place now. I couldn't come because I had a lot of challenges during that pregnancy. So I was in and out of the hospitals. In 2014 is when I got, and I stayed for just only 1 year without even doing anything. But I was coming and staying. I was living that house which was there, the Mabat one. I used to stay. When they closed school, I used to come. I stay, look after my cars, and look after my home, and then go back to Nairobi. It was in and out of Nairobi, from here to Nairobi.
Yes.
Then from there, it was in 2015, the whole of 2015 now, whereby in 2015, I started seeing some queer behaviors from my husband when I got this girl. I didn't understand him, but because I loved him, I couldn't even ask.
Which
because
ones?
the behaviors for women.
Mm-hmm.
I started seeing some queer behaviors, and I guessed that he has someone else apart from me. When I saw that, I could not even approach him and ask him what is going on. But himself came by own self and told me, my dear, I got into trouble because I've got into a marriage where I can't be able to explain to you. I asked him, where have you married? He told me, I've got someone, but I know you'll not be pleased. I told him, no. You know, if it was your choice, I cannot argue much. So, as long as I'm fine with my family and my children, you carry on. And assure me that there is no any day I will lack, or even my children will lack, because that was your decision. He told me, and me, I assure you, it will not happen. So one day,
you are okay with it?
Me, I got okay because that, you see, he has told me before even I asked him. I asked him.
Okay.
Me, I didn't ask him. He's the one who explained it to me. And then, you know, anything that has happened or that has occurred, you can't
undo it.
Yes. So I was so calm. I didn't do anything, or even I didn't react. But I had a question mark. Why this?
At that point,
yes,
you have established yourselves.
Yes.
Your company is still running.
Yes, our company is running. The rental houses are also bringing income.
And you're also running your
yes
your business across Africa.
Across Africa now.
Okay.
So you see, I had to cool down. I didn't make any quarrels or what. I continued. That is 2015 now. In 2016, March.
Before we go to 2016, did you have curiosity to know this other woman?
Yes, I got. Because I asked him, where is the lady from? What made you do this? He gave me some explanations. Even if I never got fed with those explanations, I just let it go.
You never met the lady?
No. One day, I was from my shop. He called me and told me, today, I might be coming. I asked him, on leave or on what? He told me, I'll be coming. You get ready to do that, I might come. If I get a flight, I'll come.
So at this time,
I'm in Nairobi.
He's still in Mombasa?
Yes, he's still in Mombasa.
Okay.
And he has called me to tell me that he is coming. And if he gets a flight, he is going to come. So it was around 6 in the evening. But around 7:30, I got him into the house with a woman comfortably seated in the sitting room. I almost fainted when I saw that. And I got in, I greeted them, and I found the house girl had already prepared some tea for them. I joined them, we took, but I didn't give him a chance by that time to explain to me because I was so deep in pain to see someone else in my house. In the late, at around 10, when I got into the bathroom, I found the guy has walked into my bedroom with this woman.
Oh.
Yes. And when I got into my bedroom to dress, the door was locked from inside. So I could not get into the room. I just went back to the sitting room and started crying. I started crying. I could not even make any alert for the children to wake up. I just comforted myself and went to the children's bedroom and slept with the children. That is 2016 now. That is where now I saw this is too much. Without even quarreling or doing anything, the same week, he came with a divorce letter from Milimani Court. He came and told me, I want us to divorce. I asked him, why? What have I done wrong to you? He told me nothing. but I want us to divorce. He gave me the paper to sign. I refused. I cried a lot that day. I cried a lot, but I picked a phone and made a call to my family members. I told them what I'm going through and what is now happening. And I told one of my uncle that I've been brought a paper from Milimani court to sign a divorce. And then they told me, if this is where now you have reached, I think you have to sign it. There is no way another woman can be brought into your house and get locked in your bedroom and you sleep with the children. And mark you, that time my children were very small. They couldn't understand anything.
Yes.
But I had my sister in the house. She's the one who was my house girl by that time. So what I did, when my uncle told me to sign the paper, I didn't ask him for that paper to sign. The following morning, he woke up with the paper and told me, if I'm not signing this paper for him, I'm going to see him. So it became like a threat now. I told him I'm not signing. And then before, I've been told by my family members to sign, but I didn't sign. The whole day, he stayed calling me to meet him in town, but I didn't. Tomorrow again, he told me to go to town. When I went to town and called one of my uncle, he told me, don't hesitate. If a man has decided to divorce, you can't force him. Just sign. Yes, you can't change his mind. You just sign the papers and then let the process go on. This is a court matter, not himself. So I met him when he called me to go to town to go and make some uniform for the security firm. I passed by Uru Market because it's where I was making the uniform. Then I met him in town. I remember very well, he was in the Kenya Power line, the steamer, Alambi Avenue. You see where the Kenya Power is?
Yes.
I signed the document along that.
On that street?
On that street.
Not seated anywhere?
Not seated or what?
And
I signed when I was studying.
And you are going to check on the uniforms for the security firm?
Yes. And when I was going to pick the money from him so that I can come and pay, is when now I met him with the paper. And then I signed along that Alambi Avenue. I waited for the court to go on, but I never saw when the court was going on and everything. But in a month's time, whereby I was given 15 days to appear in court, and I didn't appear, he came again and told me, my dear, I think I'm doing long too. This is not fair. I want to withdraw the divorce.
Okay.
Now you're in the house now.
Himself,
and everything has cooled down now. He told me, I think I'm not doing fair. I want to withdraw this and divorce. We are from far. I just told him it's okay. But under what reasons have you decided to withdraw the court order for the divorce? He told me no. I was doing this for other women to be happy, but now I've seen I'm not doing fair to you. This is unfair. He asked me whether I'll sign the withdrawal form. I told him yes. So he came with the withdrawal case. But I didn't, because I also went back to my family members again and asked them what to do about it.
do, because you said that I proceed sign.
Yes.
So here now is the withdrawal. What do I do?
And then they told me this is a game that you'll not be able to play. What you do, don't. And I didn't.
So for how long did this lady who was brought to your house stay in your house?
She stayed off for almost 2 days.
2 days?
Yes, because yes, I was sleeping with my children in their bedroom.
And then they left, or she left?
They left together.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, after 1 month, you're here with the divorce papers?
Yes.
I mean, withdraw of the divorce papers?
Yes.
And you have decided you will not sign?
Yeah, I didn't sign.
What happens next?
The threats were too bad. He told me now, even if you stay there, know that now you are my wife No, those were not the threats now. Because now when I refused to sign, he came down. This time he never argued. He told me, let it go like that. You are my wife. You are the mother of my children. And we have done a lot and passed a lot.
And done investments.
Yes. He told me, it's okay. Whenever you feel that you want to sign out, you'll tell me. You'll let me know. But there's never a time came that I told him I want to sign that divorce letter.
The withdrawal of the divorce.
The withdrawal now. There's no time I ever came to him and tell him I want to sign. Then, this is 2016. In 2017, 2018, we had some up and downs in marriage. In 2017, I went to South Africa. When I reached to South Africa, he called me and told me, I want to see what you bring me from that country. I told him, I'm going to bring you a very good present. You'll see. Before,
the previous trips, were you bringing him presents?
Yes, I was bringing him. So I didn't understand why he is telling me he want me to bring him back a good present. In that month while I was in South Africa, the mother died. When the mother died, I told him, no, because our mom is no more now, I was feeling I come back and go for the burial. He told me, no, I wouldn't even want to see you or in appearance.
What?
Yes, he told me, you see now the mother is dead. I asked myself, why? He told me, don't hesitate, even paying for the flight to come back and bury my mother. I got so stressed. Because before the mother died, she had come to my home. And she talked a lot about his son, telling me, I'm always worried about my son. Today it's this Linde and this home. Another day it's this Linde and another home. And these homes you are the one with who has made your husband to have these homes. But every time he gets a wife and he brings me at home. And when he brings me this wife at home, he tells me he doesn't want you to know. So the mother came to me to confess. To confess before she died. She told me a lot of things. And she told me, what I can assure you, I know you are a wife to my son. And you are the only one who can open the curtain that is in his face to see what is the end of him. I asked him, Mother, what are you saying? She told me, this is what I mean. Because my son is in a total darkness, whereby he can't even open his eyes and see what is the end of him. That is where now I had that journey to go to South Africa. And the mother died today when I had a flight tomorrow.
To come back?
No, a flight to go to South Africa.
Okay.
So now when I wouldn't have cancelled this flight because it was based on my work that I was doing. So I had to reach there, go to the convention, then if it's coming back for the burial,
at least
I come back.
Yes.
But this is the point now I'm bringing you that he refused me to come back. This is where now I saw there is a lot of disputes in my home whereby I never saw. Because at this time, I'm banned from going to the burial. And even when the eulogy was prepared, I was never put even as a wife to him, not even the children.
And did he treat that he has a wife?
Now there's another person who was written out to be the wife and the children. But my children and me were not put in that eulogy. Something lingered in my mind now. But when I came back, he never showed me anything bad. We continued as usual. 2019, he told me now, my dear, I want us to have another baby. In me, I loved him so much because he was so caring. And everything, despite the women that he's marrying, I never saw anything ill feeling about him because I loved him. I said, oh yeah. And he told me, I want us to get twins and baby boys. I asked him, will you be able to take care of me if I get to get twins? He told me 100%. Then I asked him, how are we capable to get the twins? He told me, on my side I'm okay, and on your side you are okay because of the family background. I told him, but nowadays, and our years, we can't know. So he tried, but I didn't get expectant. He told me, now you want us, we go for the gyna checkups, whereby he paid a lot of money for me to get pregnant with twins. I was
How
going
is that
to,
possible?
with the world of today, it is possible.
Okay.
Yes. So I was talking to another gynecologist, and it was very much possible. But to me, it never worked. That is 2019. Now we are talking about 2019.
Yes.
That is whereby I conceived, but I conceived one child, who is the baby boy there. But the doctor tried very much to see that I've conceived a baby boy. This pregnancy, I carried it throughout 2019 until when I gave, but I had some complications also, because when I got some pains, the labor pains started when I was there, and it was an immature birth. So I had to go through a CS. When I was admitted, sent a driver, because he loved me so much. He didn't want me to drive by my own self when I was in labor pains, and he was at work. He sent a driver and another driver. So the two drivers came for me here, and also I had my own car here. They all drove. We went to maternity, and I got him there having arranged everything. So I got into the ward, and the doctor said, because the amniotic fluid is over, I can't go for the CS. They have to restore it back a little bit. So I was under bed rest, and I took some 2 days. No, it was the same night. Yeah, then I was left into the hospital, and they all walked away with my cousins and the drivers. He had sent to come and pick me so that we can meet him. So this problem, the problem that I am in today now, started this day when I was in Mpisha, if I can tell. Because when he went back home, he told me, today I'm going to the other home. I told him, no problem. You see, now I understand that he has another wife. So I never argued. He left, and he told me very early in the morning before he goes to work, he'll pass by the hospital to see how I have slept. So early in the morning, it was unusual. The time he came into the hospital, it was around 5
in the morning.
And at around 5, and I don't think whether you're allowed to get to the hospital.
You are not.
I was woken up by a nurse, and I was told that I have a visitor. When I opened my eyes, I saw him beside my bed. I greeted him. Me, I couldn't even know what is the time. You know, when you are pregnant, you have a lot of pressures, and I didn't expect him. When he came to me that early morning, greeted me and asked me how I was feeling. I told him. Then he told me, oh, do you know what, my dear? I'm so stressed. I asked him, why? Stressed of what? He told me, last night, a brander occurred. I asked him, which brander? He told me, when I admitted you last evening, the message for the admission never ringered in the phone at that time. And I didn't realize. But when I went home, to the other wife's home now, the message came into the phone late night. And then I asked him, what did the message say? He told me, Olive Kagendo, admitted Mpisha maternity wing. And I asked him,
why is there a problem? It is the truth.
Yeah, what's the problem? He told me, you know what, I know you are in a bed, but I have to tell you the truth. My dear, we have walked this journey in a secret. I never disclosed whether you are pregnant because I already divorced you. And this lady knows that I divorced you. So when the message came into my phone, it brought a lot of quarrels. And the first one I asked him, do you remember the ones I told you about your mom? He told me yes. Your mother told you to gather all your families, wherever you have the families, put them together because this can take you in a bad situation. Then I asked him, now what is the fear about that? I mean, I have no anyone's life. This is all about me and you. And this family, me, I know I'm your wife. Others, I don't know. It is from you, your heart, you know who is your wife. But me, for me, I know I'm your wife. He told me things are serious. Because there was a lot of quarrel, abuses. Last night, I couldn't even sleep. I had a sleepless night. That's why I've come to you.
Very early.
Very early in the morning because I know this lady might pop in to come and confirm whether you are the one and what is happening, whether it is true. I told him I have no problem. I can't change my situation. If she wants to come, she'll find me here and I'll still be left here until I accomplish my mission which I have here in Mpisha. So he came down a little bit. I had to even cool down. He told me, now, you know what, my dear? What I was thinking, because this thing is going to bring a lot of problems, I want us we do a transfer. I asked him, I'm bedridden. Again, I do a transfer. Are you not even worried about my health? Or even the newborn that is in my body now, who is almost drained completely. He told me, no problem. I'll look for an ambulance and I'll take you to any other hospital. Me, I didn't argue much. I told him, you just see what to do. Me, I have no problem. You see now, I'm in a situation that even I can't change this situation. He's still there. He made some calls. He called my gynecologist. And he told my gyna he wanted to see him. By good luck, the doctor was coming in at that time by 6 because it's when they come for the round checkups in the morning. So he came, they ended a talk, but they didn't do that talk in my presence. They got out. And then he came and told me, I've talked with your gynecologist and he has no problem. I've talked to him as a man. And he has said no problem. So with my situation, I didn't have anything. But he didn't pay for the ambulance. Because when I got admitted, I was left with my car at the parking in Mpisha because he couldn't go with the car to the other wife's home. And my cousins drove themselves home. So me, I was left with my car in Mpisha. So he took the car. And they had already agreed in which hospital I should go with the gynecologist. And then I was taken to that hospital. I was taken to Avenue Hospital in Thika. You see, I was taken very far from Nairobi.
From Nairobi all the way to Thika?
To Thika.
And were you in an ambulance?
No, he used my car now. The one I'm telling you, I had it in Mpisha at the parking. He drove me.
Who was bedridden?
So now, I was discharged under the doctor's agreement. So there was no match. But I went comfortably, he drove slowly, and I went to Avenue Hospital. I got admitted to Avenue Hospital that evening. And the following day, I went to the CS section. I got my lovely baby boy. And in the afternoon, he came. He was very happy. We stayed up to the evenings, and then he went back to the other wife's home. I stayed in a Avenue Hospital for 5 days. And he was coming to visit me as usual, bringing me presents and everything. And then when it reached a day for the discharge, he came. But at that day, he was in church meetings at Timau. Whereby I can't know whether he was in the church meetings, but he came. And he also called the driver, because we had our own driver whom we used to call to come and pick me wherever we wanted to go somewhere, and I was not able to drive. He called him and told him to go pick the car. They meet in Avenue in the late evenings. And my elder son came. He started doing discharge. And then my husband came when it was late, and we came home. But on our way coming home, he stepped out of the car at Junja. They want to go to Membri. He told me, I'll be coming tomorrow, because I never spent the night at the other wife's home, and I'm understanding the problem that was there. So he is already known that he is coming from Timau, so he can't come, and he can't come home with me. So my son is the one who drove me home. He gave my son the car, and then my son drove me home. And you see, now I have the CS. I've come home with my son and my sister. That is in March 2020. And the baby was born on 3rd March. I think I was discharged maybe on 7th, there about. If I check the dates, because if I check, I'll get the dates. So when I came, that time now, we had another home in Nasla. Whereby now I'm telling you, I was coming here, going back there, coming here, going back there. So we went to Nasla. When we went to Nasla, I was taken care of by my sister and the house girl. Then Corona was announced.
In March.
March.
Towards the end of March, yes.
Yes. When it was announced, and I've given birth, it's a CS, the mother-in-law died. I have no one to take care of me, only the house girl. I'd say it was very risky for the house girl. In every time in the evening, going to look for food for me. And you know, when you have given birth, the care that you are taken care of. So my husband himself called me and told me, I was thinking, I called someone to come you stay with her. I asked him, someone? Yes. I asked who? He told me, I'm going to decide for a good person who can take care of you. So he called one of my friend. We go to church together. She came into the house. When she came into the house, things were also tough. She could not even go to buy food. You remember that time of Corona, the way people were being beaten by the police walking aimlessly on the streets. So me, by my own self, I decided to come here, because it's outside the town, and we can move comfortably. I called him and I told him, my dear, according to the problems that I can see the house girl is facing here to look for food for me and even for the children, even going to the supermarket is a problem. I was thinking we drop down to Ruai. He told me, that's a good idea. Let me look for someone to come and drive you down there. He called the driver. The driver came. We had already packed by the time he came. So he drove us here. The land was so heavy, but we managed. Then the driver went back again so that he can pick some more items
to bring to
us. And even that morning, the following morning, very early in the morning, my husband came. And we spent here for 3 days. When we are happy with our newborn, enjoying ourselves. And I remember it on a Thursday, it's when had a birthday. And my sister was also here with her family. He said he want to do a birthday. He drove with my elder son. They went to the supermarket. Naivas, I don't know whether it was in Utawala. I remember that is the place we used to get the cakes. He went and got the cakes and some snacks and everything. And then he came back here. We did a very beautiful birthday for Abigail, which is on a Thursday. It was very good. Then he requested me to leave that evening because he had already done a bash for the children, and they were very happy. So I didn't have any issue. I just allowed him
to go to the other home.
To the other home, which on Thursday, which was on Thursday evening. He went. On Friday, he called us and they asked about our fate. And then they talked with their daughters. Very, very happy. And the day ended. That is on Friday. On Saturday, that morning, he never called me. But I was still here. I didn't even also call him because on Saturday is our Sabbath day. I knew maybe he has gone for the morning prayers at 9. So from church, he will call us because that was usually what he did. So by some minutes to 12, or I say almost 12, I saw the people coming inside here. The gate was banged, but I didn't open. I didn't understand who are banging loudly the gate like that. And I told my son and my husband, can you check and see what is happening outside? When they went to check, they told me they have seen a car and the car has been drove away. So they couldn't know who was it. And then at that time, I was getting out to go and pick my house girl, another house girl now from Bypass. So after that bang, no one bothered to know what was happening. So we said maybe they are passers-by. Then I told my son, I'm going to pick a new house girl at from Bypass. She was coming all the way from Timau. Then the children, all of them, they said, Mom, the car is big, let's go together. So we closed the gates and everything and everywhere, and then we went to Bypass. When we went to Bypass, coming back, I found him standing at the gate. When he was very harsh. And we were with him on Thursday. And he told me, go back from where you are coming from. This is not your home. I stepped out of the car. I just held my CS, stepped down, and went closer to him. He shouted at me, I've told you, go back to where you are coming from. This is not your home. And the children and the car, the houseboy.
And the new house girl.
So my son feared. He turned the car and went. Me, I was left. When I was left, I just asked him, what are you doing? What is this? Why are you cutting the doors? Because there was a welder inside who was welding, removing the locks that I had locked, putting the new locks. You'll see how the doors are damaged. From there, because of the stress, I busted bleeding. And the CS opened like a fish mouth. I started bleeding there and there. And the neighbors who felt that there's some noises happening started coming. Because I even shouted, seeing the people who are inside and what is going on in the compound. I prayed. I walked away again, went and stood there at the gate. The first thing I did, I prayed. Because I didn't have the phone has gone in the car. I can't call anyone. I don't know even where the boy has gone with the children.
And you're bleeding.
And I'm bleeding and the CS has opened. If you see that picture, it's like a fish mouth. And a lot of bleeding. They finished. When they were still welding, my maid came and I said, no, let me get in again. I found they are finished. Getting out, I refused because he has locked. Of course, he has locked the house now, and he is getting out. When he is getting out, he became fair to me, and cooled down the way he saw I was breathing. He had already closed the house, whereby I cannot even get into. And again, the way I was breathing, and the people are now looking around to see what is happening, but they never came because now when there is some chaos, people don't immediately lash into that thing. Then he never crossed the gate, and I'm outside. He never crossed the gate, but in him, he knew he has crossed. And the car, he called the car. It was an Uber, I remember. It was a Vitz. He called the Uber, came and picked him where I was standing there. Then they went. I was left there thinking, overthinking, and even I didn't know what to do. I came back to the gate. I just put my hand inside, found a new padlock. Again, I had turned my hand. The padlock rotated. It was not locked completely. That is where I removed the padlock and got into the house. When I got into the house, I found new locks and everything. The house has been locked.
Hiyo mlango kama vile zimeharibiwa na hiyo mtu wao nakwambia hawezi
karibu hapa ndio aweke hii kwa sababu haikuwa na
When I walked out of the gate now and the villagers saw now that he has gone, they came into a rescue now. They asked me what is happening.
Yes.
I couldn't even explain myself because the men who came near me started shouting to other women to come closer to me,
so
because I was terribly bleeding.
Yes.
I didn't even feel any pain that time. I explained to them what has happened. And one villager told me, I have seen your car getting into the home of the OCS. There is an OCS. That time that lady was an OCS in Ruai. They have gone there. I walked into that home and got my children were in that home. And the lady was not in the house. But she is a Marian. So she knew me, knew my children. When they popped in, they went and asked for the house girl for the phone to call them. And then they explained what is happening. So when I got there, I just called my son. And when he came out, I told him, right away, Sean, get out the car from the parking, take me to the police station. He drove me. People were left crying and shouting.
You're still bleeding at this point?
Bleeding, even... I can't even stand in front of people, but the way I was bleeding, even no one could withstand his eyes to see what I was like. But me, I never cared. I went to the police station. When I went to the police station at KBC, I found him there. But I found the wife, now he is with the wife, but he was inside. I walked slowly holding my stomach and went to the reporting desk. From the point of going up to the reporting desk, the brand is...
trailing you.
Yes. Even the police on the desk asked me, where are you from? And what is the problem? Before even answering the police, I started asking my husband, this is all what you have seen you do to me. He started crying there. But he shook his hand and then walked out. I was left. I explained myself to the police who were attending me. They asked me, do you know that guy? I told them, he is my husband. Your husband? And what do you want? I told them, he has locked me out of the house. Before even asking me anything else, they asked me, are you sick? No. What's wrong with your stomach? I told them, I have a newborn and I have a CS. And you are saying that is your husband. By that time, he had already drove away. So when I seen that he has locked me out of the house and he has gone, and that's why I've decided to come and report, they listened to my point, and then they said, and this man has said, it's a tenant who has refused to get out of his house,
Oh.
and he has already locked his house. That is the statement that he wrote in KBC police station. And then the police told me, no, hey, this is serious. They opened the door which was there, and then they took me to the OCS. When they took me to the OCS, the DCI lady from KBC came and started wiping the blood. And from inside, those who are from cell, they were called to come and wipe. And those people cried. Everyone who was there, after seeing the water was going through, they started crying. I explained to the OCS. The OCS asked me about his contacts. I gave him. He called him. When he called him, he didn't respond. I asked the OCS, what can I do? Even my newborn baby, I don't know where the baby is. And here I am. And I've started another race. Mimi ni wanani.